Hi friends, I create this channel for uploading botany's video. And I started from the systematic parts. Now, all plants groups are divided into four groups. Number 1, Thallophyta. Number 2, Bryophyta. Number 3, Pteridophyta. And number 4, which is Spermatophyta, or also called angiosperm. Now, Thallophyta divided into also in two groups, which is called, first is algae and the second is fungi. Now I am started from algae. In 1753, Linnaeus first discovered this algae word, which is a Latin word which means seaweeds. Now, character of algae. First, thallus-like body. Thallus-like body means their body cannot divide it into root, stem or leaves. So their body looks like a thallus type, a mass of cells. So their thallus-like body. Second, they are autotrophs. Means they prepare their own food by the photosynthesis method and prepare sugar glucose type food by the help of some pigments like chlorophyll and others. Number 3, thallus made up with unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular means body made up with a single cell, and multicellular means body made up with a number of cells. Number 4, no vascular bundle. Means for conducting food, vascular bundle is absent because all cells are autotrophs. So all cell can prepare their own food. So they don't require any vascular bundle or vascular system to conducting the food from one cell to another. Number 5, embryo formation cannot be found in this group. Now, range of thallus structure. On algae. At first, a thallus divided into two groups. First is unicellular and the second is multicellular. Previously I told the unicellular means cell made up with a single body which made up with a single cell, and multicellular means thallus or body which made up with a number of cells. So now I discuss about unicellular. Unicellular also divided into two types. One motile and another is non-motile. Motile means thallus can move from one place to another, and the motile can be done, the place change can be done by flagella, or second is rhizopodial. Flagella is a filamentous type locomotory organ which made up with peripheral region 9 ring and a central 2 rings, and rhizopodia means a pseudopodia like organ which help to move algae from one place to another. It's just like a rhizopodia. Flagella, we can found this type of algae is Chlamydomonas, and rhizopodial found in Rhizocolaris type algae. Now, multicellular divided into three groups. Number 1, colonial. Number 2, filamentous. And number 3 is special type. In colonial type thallus, numerous cells are gathering together within a matrix. So it is called colonial type thallus body because so many cells made a colony and from a special types thallus structure. Now, colonial cell also divided into two types. One is synobium, and another is aggregate. In synobium, number of cells is constant. The cell number is constant and shape also constant in all colony. So this is called synobium type thallus body, and it also can be divided into two parts. One is motile and another is non-motile. In motile, this synobium can move from one place to another by the help of flagella. So, example of this type algae is volvox. Here the all cells are similar in size and number also here constant, and they have flagella to move from one place to another. Now non-motile cells means they cannot move but they are form a colony. So this is hydrodicton, which cannot move from one place to another but they made up with a many cells and a particular shape. So this is a hydrodicton algae. It is an example of synobium non-motile type. Now aggregate divided into three types. Number 1, palmelloid. Number 2, dendroid. And number 3 is rhizodial. Palmelloid means non-motile cells are gathering together and from a mass of cell. So here the all cells can perform their function individually, so they cannot dependent on each other in palmelloid thallus. So it is a structure of palmelloid thallus type. It's a reproductive structure of chlamydomonas algae where the all cells can perform their function independently. They cannot dependent on each other. In dendroid type, many cells are attached with each other by some matrix and which looks like a microscopic trees. So this is called dendroid type thallus. The example of dendroid type thallus is chrysodendron. It looks like this. So this is a gelatinous matrix and it is a numerous cells which together each other connected each other by gelatinous matrix and looks like a microscopic tray. It's an example of chrysodendron. Now, third is rhizodial. The colony are formed by the help of rhizopodia. So, rhizopodia help them to form a colony. In previously I called rhizopodia and it is a rhizodial. Okay. So here in rhizopodia help to attach them and form a colony. Example of this type algae is Chrysidiastrum. Here this is a rhizopodia which help to form a colony. Now filamentous type thallus. Filamentous type thallus divided into two parts. One is unbranched and another is branched. So in unbranched type filamentous, cells are divided in unidirectional. So it's made a filament like unbranched type thallus. And in branched, cells are divided in any part or any direction. So it's from a branch like structure and it's made a branched filamentous thallus. Now branch filamentous thallus is divided into two groups. One is true branch and second is false branch. So example of unbranched type algae is Spirogyra. It is made up with unidirectional division. Spirogyra. Now true branch. Example of true branch algae is Cladophora. So here cell division occur in any direction and formed a branch like structure. Example of Cladophora, true branch algae. Now false branch algae means two separate filaments are attached by mucilaginous sheath and looks like a branching, but there is a not true branching. It is a false branch. It looks like a branch. So example of this type algae is Cytonema. Here this is microscopic view and if we zoom it, so the false branching are made here. It's not a true branch because mucilaginous sheath make this look like a branching. So it is a false branch type algae. Name is Cytonema. Cytonema. Sorry. Now the special type algae. Special type algae is divided into heterotrichous, siphonoceous, parenchymatous, and pseudoparenchymatous. So special type divided into four types: heterotrichous, siphonoceous, parenchymatous and pseudoparenchymatous types algae. On heterotrichous, thallus, the plant body made up with a erect part and a prostrate part, and from erect part number of lateral branches are arised. Number of lateral branches are arised. So it is a erect and it is a prostrate, and lateral branches are arised. Example of this type thallus is ectocarpus. Here it is prostrate, it is erect and lateral branches, and it's made up with many cells. So example, it is ectocarpus. Number 2, siphonoceous. Life thallus. Here the thallus made up with non-septate multinucleated cells. If I section it, so here the middle portion a hollow region, and in peripheral region many uninucleate, many nucleus, multinuclear cells are present, and it is a middle region is hollow, so it is siphonoceous. Example of this type algae is this type algae is Vaucheria. Is a multinucleated algae, and in middle region the hollow part is present, and cells are in peripheral region. So it is a siphonoceous thallus body. Now number 3 is parenchymatous. Parenchymatous. Here the thallus made up with parenchymatous cell, and its division occur in all over and which look like a foliage like thallus. So it's made a foliage like thallus body. It is a parenchymatous. Example of parenchymatous thallus is laminaria. Here a parenchymatous cells divided multidirectionally and from a foliage like shape. So it is an example of parenchymatous algae which is laminaria. Now pseudoparenchymatous. Thallus. Pseudoparenchymatous thallus means many filaments are gathering together and form a axis-like structure which look like a parenchymatous cells, but it is made up with filaments like cells. So it is called pseudoparenchymatous. Pseudoparenchymatous cells also divided into two types. One is uniaxial and another is multiaxial. So in uniaxial, from the main axis from a particular node, lateral branches are erased. Not anywhere in a particular node, lateral branches are erased. So it is an example of uniaxial type thallus. So here the many filaments arrange each other and look like, if it is section then it look like a made up with parenchymatous cells, and here the many lateral branches are erased from a particular node. So it is example of uniaxial pseudoparenchymatous thallus. Example of its Batroscospermum. Now multiaxial means from this main axis lateral branches are erased, not a particular node but in any portion from this main branch. So here the node regions are invariable. Example of this type algae is Polysiphonia. Here it is a main branch and the lateral branches are erased from the different node. So it is example of Polysiphonia. So this is the all about the algae thallus structure, and on the next video I will talk about the life cycle pattern of algae. Thank you for watching this video.